Um, so today I would like to talk about attachment. And as a mom, my strongest attachment is to my daughter. And I think all parents can relate to this, in that attachment is so mixed with the love that we feel for our children. And it's so intermingled that sometimes it's hard to discern what is love and what is attachment. And because of that, I was really unaware about how attachment really affects my relationship to my daughter and how it brings us both suffering. However, I did have a moment of clarity when I went to her college graduation earlier this year. And what happened was that in my very desperate attempt to spend as many moments as possible with her, I almost made her do something that she would have regretted, and I would have regretted actually for a long time. Luckily, that didn't happen because someone intervened, someone with a more clear mind, I suppose, intervened. But after that, she sort of confronted me with my attitude, and that's when it became very clear that my attachment is really so blinding sometimes, and that brings with it a lot of danger, in both for my happiness and her happiness. And when I realized that, when I understood that, I was really appalled. I was very sad. I was, surprised too. And so, because love is wanting someone to have happiness and its causes. But since I was not acting out of love, but out of attachment, then I was getting the opposite result, which is suffering and sadness and regret. So instead of the happiness that I so much wanted to share with her, I was actually creating suffering. But it was very useful for me to see that, to understand it, to just feel it, to realize how painful that can be. Since then, though, I have been really doing some work to understand this attachment, to be able to see it, to identify it, to discern it, to dissect it, and to separate it from the love and the connection that I still want to have with my daughter. So that brought me to the definition of attachment. So what is attachment? So attachment is exaggerating the good qualities of an object or a person, an idea or a situation, and then clinging to that as the source of our happiness. So right then and there, by looking at this definition and looking at that situation, what I had done and what I have felt, I realized that attachment is really about me. It's about me, about my happiness, about what I want, what I see, what I need, not necessarily about the other person. The other person is nowhere to be found, not even in the definition of attachment, not even in what I was doing or thinking at the time. It was about me. Here I am. I came all this way, and I want to spend every moment as possible with her, to the exclusion and exception of anything else or anybody else, because it's about me. I'm the important person here. I came all this way. I made all this effort. So, for a parent, it is difficult to accept, I think, that the love for our children is mixed in with a lot of me in it. We think that it's all about them. But I think if we look closely, when I looked closely, what I saw was a lot of me. And that was sad and painful. The second thing that I was trying to figure out is going back to the definition of there is an exaggeration there. So what is it that I am exaggerating? Am I exaggerating her good qualities? So I don't think so, really, because she has been the perfect child, and she will continue to be the perfect child. um, but what I am exaggerating is how much I think that she needs me. That is definitely an exaggeration. Because I have noticed that in my mind, even though she's 22 years old, in my mind, the image that comes up when I think of her is not that of a capable, smart, poised, dedicated, disciplined 22-year-old. What comes to mind is a very needy 10 to 12-year-old. Someone who needs mom's attention, someone who needs mom's help, someone who needs mom's care and protection. Well, she's no longer that person. She grew up. I'm still holding on to the child. And when did she grow up that I didn't actually realize it? It's like so fast. Poof. And so because of that mental image that has not kept up with her growth and her development, then my immediate reaction to her is to want to protect, to want to fix her problems, to want to make decisions for her, to want to be involved in her life to the nth degree. And of course, that creates friction. Because here's a 22-year-old who knows what she wants, who's very self-directed, who's never needed me to tell her to do her homework, who's learned a lot of things on her own because of her own initiative. And now comes mom trying to tell her what to do. That just doesn't sit too well. But I keep on doing it. Automatically, on autopilot, trying to do that. So that's my issue, very clearly. Another big component of attachment is expectations. And I think that most parents, myself included, we expect our children to make us happy, to make us proud, to do things that we approve of, to be successful. We want them to defer to our best judgment, at least I do, and to take care of us when we're old. I think we want to have that kind of a relationship. But of course, when I thought about these words, when I said these words as I hear them, it's baloney. These attitudes are so not founded in reality. They're so not helpful. But the problem is that I was not aware of them. Probably most parents are not. And because of that, we don't question these attitudes. We don't sit there and try to unpack them and see whether or not they have any base in reality. It's just this is just how we relate to our children. And we see them as an expression of love and care and concern. That's another part of the story. Is that we don't see them as attachment. We don't see them as potential source of problems. We see them as the way they are, beneficial, a show of love. And so, but as we say those words and we hold on to those attitudes, again, it's all about me. It's all about me. And where is that other person in there? It's nowhere. It's all about how we're seeing and relating and wanting them to move in the world. And so, looking back at the definition of love, it doesn't say you shall do as I expect you to. It doesn't say that anywhere. It just says, I want you to have happiness and its causes. So that's a clue that these attitudes, these thoughts, these ideas are really not based on our love. And I have to constantly remind myself that my daughter does not have to embody my definition of success. She has the freedom to make her own mistakes and to learn from them, even though I very much would want her to avoid all the mistakes. That's kind of my attitude. I want her to make no mistakes, and that's why I'm there, to fix it, to tell her the right answer, to give her all the advice she needs. But in reality, she needs to learn from doing, from experiencing. And most importantly, it's like her life is about her. It's not about me. It has nothing to do with me. It's about her, what she wants to do, what her dreams, what her abilities and skills, and how she wants to move in the world. It's not about me telling her that. Now, of course, this is all easier said than done. And I still have so much more work to do. In fact, yesterday, it's a funny story, I spoke with her on the phone, and she told me there was going to be a party in her house. Her roommate was throwing a party on Saturday. And I just went in autopilot mom lecture. Oh, goodness, how scary. Be careful. Make sure you don't drink. Make sure you get into your room. Don't talk to strangers. Da-da-da. And then she responded with a typical eye roll, which I could not see it, but I could feel it. And a sigh. And then her response, I am a 22-year-old mom. I did not get drunk in undergrad, and I'm not going to get drunk now. End of story. Oh yeah, I have lots of work to do. So to help me, I have come up with some guiding questions that I think can help me avoid another episode like yesterday, hopefully. And so these are my guiding questions that I thought could help me stay on a path of love and not attachment. Is this about me and what I want? I think that's the first question. Because if it is about me, then that's a big red flag. It's about me. I need to look at it closely because where is she in this picture? Will this benefit her? First of all, who will benefit from this action? Am I the beneficiary? Or is both of us, or her, or all sentient beings? Can she handle the situation? Or versus me trying to step in to fix it? And what are some of the resources, internal and external, that she has that can help her deal with this situation? I hope this thing stays put. Okay. And then, am I seeing her as a capable young woman? Or am I still relating to her as a 10-year-old? That's what I've been doing now for a long time. Am I helping her clarify her views, her ideas, or am I trying to impose mine? And another good one is, does my action or advice support her emotional and physical well-being and independence? Or is just helping me feel good to deal with my fears and my concerns and my attitudes? So, again, not the ultimate answer, but at least some steps to get me to the other side, realizing that, I've been a mom for 22 years, and it's not going to go away overnight. So, thank you.